Hello, Storm Cousins. You already know what time it is. Animated horror stories. Animated horror stories. So, this is a very, very quick video, I believe. Depending on how much chatting I'm gonna do throughout it will make it longer. This is a Sapphire video. I hope I said it the correct way. Mother's Day horror stories. Stories with Sapphire. Mm, mm. Is it Sapphire? Yeah, Sapphire. You guys, you already know I have to do, holiday edition horror stories. You know? So let's get into this. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. If you're a mother and you're a cousin of mine, happy Mother's Day to you. If you're a stepmom, you're a mother, you have a baby in the heavens, uh, you gave one to God yourself. Happy Mother's Day to you. I love you all. Okay? And let's get into it. I've been back on Twitch a lot more lately. So if you would like to see these live, go over and jump in that elephant chatting on Twitch. Hit a follow, and when I hop on, if you're free, you can hop in there with me and just chat. I do a bunch of videos back to back, and I just chat with you guys. Sometimes I, start playing music, X, Y, and Z, a whole lot of. So, yeah, I think that's probably why there's like a little echo thing going on. But yes, as I said, let's get into it. I love you guys. Thank you guys for supporting me. I love you guys so, 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 so much. Yeah, let's get into this. Grab your blunts, grab your blankets, grab your bottles of waters, and grab a bag of chips, please, a snack. And let's go on and get into it. Like, oh, Mother's Day is such a great day for moms. Like, what could be going on?
This episode was made possible by NordVPN.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Today's story is about what can happen if your data is not properly protected.
I'm gonna just, skip past that because
It
I
lets you.
am not, sponsored with nobody. So,
Hi, Oddings. Welcome to Stories with Sapphire. I'm
no.
your Ate Sapphire. Mother's Day is right around the corner, a time to show appreciation for the women who raised us and shared photos of us proudly with everyone. But what if there is a downside to all of this affection? This Mother's Day, Vanessa is about to find out.
Oh,
And now,
girl.
it's story time.
Nice to get here. What? I like it here.
Vanessa adored her little baby girl, Carly. She had so much fun posting photos of her in cute themed outfits, one for every holiday and season. Her family would always
Whenever I
comment
do
on
that with
how
my kids.
photogenic Carly was and that she could be a model. Those comments always made Vanessa chuckle. The thought of becoming one of those mommy influencers made her roll her eyes, which is why she kept her profile private. Her followers were mostly her friends and family, with the occasional request from another account with mom or baby content that she was happy to approve. One day, she needed to make a quick trip to the grocery store. She called up Renee, the teenager next door, as usual, to come watch Carly while she was out. Vanessa set very strict rules with Renee to never post any videos or photos of Carly or from inside her house. Vanessa kissed Carly on the head and went to the store. As Vanessa rolled her cart down the aisle, she simultaneously scrolled through her timeline. She may not share her baby photos publicly, but she'd be lying if she said she didn't love looking at what other parents posted. They always gave her inspiration for her own photo sessions. Then, her phone buzzed. There was a notification that she was tagged in a photo. She opened the photo and saw the exterior of her house. The number was in full view and the address was tagged. Vanessa immediately called Renee.
Hi, Miss H. How's it going?
Renee, I thought I made myself very clear. Why would you post a photo of my house? Please take it down right now.
What photo?
The photo of my house. Take it down.
Miss H, I really don't know what you're talking about.
Renee, I swear to God, if this is a prank...
It's not, Miss H, I promise. What was the name of the profile?
Vanessa pulled her phone away from her face to look at the name when she got another notification. This time, it was a photo taken from outside the living room window. You could see Renee talking on the phone.
Whoa, what the hell? I just got tagged too.
Renee, get Carly and get out of the house immediately. Call 911. I'm heading home right now. Vanessa abandoned her cart and ran to her car. Another notification. This time, it was of the back of Renee's head, running up the stairs. Vanessa began to panic. She couldn't understand why or how anyone could do this. She arrived home and immediately called out for Renee, but
Girl, you know she ain't
no
about
response.
to answer. Someone bashed her in the
She
head.
ran to the stairs and saw a river of blood cascading down the steps. On the staircase was Renee's cold, limp body. Vanessa held her breath and her tears as she ran past her and towards Carly's room. She opened the door. Carly was not in her crib. She wasn't anywhere in the room. Vanessa fell to her knees. She'd never felt so helpless in her life. That familiar buzz pierced through the silence.
God, someone done took her baby?
Hesitantly, Vanessa pulled up the photo. It was Carly, cradled in a pair of hands with long, twisted fingers.
Oh.
Trembling, Vanessa frantically messaged them. Where is my daughter? Who are you? Give her back. Why are you doing this to me? They replied, because you made it so easy. I don't understand. My profile is private. LOL. There's no such thing as private.
LOL. LOL would have had me pissed off. Don't text me LOL when you got my motherfucking baby. Like, what? My mom never left me with a babysitter when I was that young. No way. I'm so all my babysitters have been family. I've never had a babysitter that wasn't someone I was related to. So I'm very big on passing that forward when I have kids to if if they're big cousins or grandparents or even aunties or uncles are somewhat unavailable, then they would definitely have to stay with me because you can never, people on the outside are so vicious and everybody has a, everybody has a, oh, they love babies so much face, and it is very believable, but some people are very sick in the head. Some people can be your family, but, but, you know, always keep an eye out for people. And if you don't have no uncomfortable feelings with nobody and your baby don't start screaming, because your baby will tell you if they like someone or not. And you should never drop your baby off somewhere that the baby's screaming and hollering when you leave, and if you call to check on the baby's still screaming and hollering. That baby don't want to be there. It's a bad energy there. It's something going on. Ugh. So yeah, that's my thoughts. But LOL, LOL is so ridiculous. My profile is private. LOL as a response, and you kidnapped this lady's baby and you got to laugh at her face on her phone. That's so crazy. Mm-mm-mm.
Because you made it so easy. I don't understand. My profile is private.
LOL.
LOL.
Ridiculous.
There's no such thing as private on the internet. As Vanessa responded, they blocked her.
Oh,
Today's story featured
Then that's
Vanessa
it?
and Carly, the winners of the last Cameo competition. If you'd like a chance to be featured on a future episode, follow me on Instagram at Awkward Sapphire to learn more. If you don't want nightmares tonight, like and share this story and subscribe to my channel. Submit your own stories to storieswithsapphire@gmail.com. For more spooky, supernatural, and spiritual stories, listen to the Stories with Sapphire podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. If you like what you saw and would like to support this,
enjoyed this. I'm like, should I find another Mother's Day one? Like, I tried to find one, y'all. They don't have many Mother's Day horror stories. Like, I think one of those, like, mother. Let me see. I'll just add it in here. But I like to give credit from, whatever. To that one, and we'll do this one.
In the middle of the night, I was woken up by an unexpected ringing. The sound made me jump up in bed. Who could possibly be calling at midnight?
I don't think it's Mother's
I brought my
Day.
phone to my ear,
It's just
then heard a familiar voice begin to speak.
It's Mother's Day. So
With a frustrated tone, my aunt had informed me that my mom's latest caretaker had quit. My mother has been severely ill for many years, yet all of her caretakers have been unable to stay for more than 6 months. I knew that this time, I had to take responsibility. Until I could find someone who could actually handle my mother, I'd take care of her myself. The drive into my hometown was quiet. Now that I was an adult, the town I'd grown up in seemed so different than before.
I definitely
Within the
don't.
small city, there were tons of petroleum plants, polluting the air into a foggy gray. The darker the roads got, the closer I was to my destination. Once I was in front of my childhood home, I stepped out of my car. My hand wrapped around the cold doorknob, but before I could even fully open it, I was greeted by the face of my mother. Her face was void of the grace I was familiar with. The expression on her features was just empty, with a smile that seemed to have nothing behind it. "Hello, dear. It's been a long time." My body stood in the doorway. She leaned forward to hug me without hesitation. My mother always used to hesitate. I found myself looking in the mirror behind her. My reflection resembled my mother so much, yet not at all. After our greetings, she led me into the dining room for dinner. Immediately, upon stepping into the kitchen, the stench of something burning filled my lungs. I ran over to the oven and pulled it open. The familiar smell of my mother's infamous meatloaf was overpowered by the smoke that flooded out of the oven. I pulled out the tray with gloves and realized there were multiple doll heads melted into it.
Girl.
It seemed like my mother's sickness was worse than I thought. Despite her frantic protest, I threw the meatloaf out in order to take out instead. Dinner was silent that night. Only the sounds of the silverware scraping across the plates could be heard. After washing the dishes, I laid in my childhood twin-sized bed to rest. My mother's footsteps were so quiet, I almost didn't hear her step into my room. If it weren't for the door creaking, I wouldn't have known at all. She stood there, watching me pretend to sleep for what seemed like an eternity. After I heard the door creak closed again, I sat up in my bed. I stepped out from beneath the covers to go check on her before I spotted something in the corner of the room. My mother stood there silently, completely engulfed in darkness.
She was still up in
The
there.
sight almost made me jump out of my skin. I began to approach her. then realized
Watch her have her knife.
she was asleep.
Oh.
Had she been sleepwalking this whole time? I carefully led her to my bed and pulled the blanket over her. I stayed up for the rest of the night, with her eyes never closing. Then, she finally jolted awake as the sun rose. My mother was surprised to be laying in my bed, like she didn't have a clue about what happened last night.
Poor thing.
Throughout the rest of the day, I kept her in the corner of my eye. However, she asked me if I could go outside to trim the bushes, since her hands were too shaky to handle yard work. I was hesitant to leave her alone in the house, but the previous caretakers had definitely not taken care of it. I found myself busy with trimming the grass, plucking the weeds, and washing the sides of the house until sunset. Once I stepped back into the house, it was completely silent. I called out for my mom, but my voice only echoed back to me. As I wandered down the hallways of my childhood home, I found myself in front of my mom's old sewing room. As a kid, I spent most of my days there. I'd be on the floor coloring as she sewed new outfits for me. I stepped inside, and the stench of something awful filled my lungs. On her sewing table laid a unique material I'd never seen before. I ran my fingertips over it. It felt a little like leather, but it had a strange, peachy tint to it. That's when I heard the faint sound of the shower running. However, it didn't make me feel reassured. My mother always had trouble with slipping in the bath. I walked upstairs to her bathroom door. The door was already open slightly. Just as I was about to knock, to ask if she was okay, I caught a glimpse of something strange. My mom lifted her hair up to reveal the back of her neck. Running along her back was a small zipper. I backed up, feeling somewhat disgusted at the sight. That wasn't part of any surgery she'd gotten in the past, and I'd never seen a scar like that before. It was an actual zipper, sewn into her skin. I slowly heard the zipper unzip, and a thud hit the tiled floor. Then, my mom stepped into the shower. I peeked into the crack of the door and saw the empty skin of my mother laying there.
Got a meat suit.
Whatever was in that shower was not my mom. I quietly went back into my room, locking the door behind me. How was I supposed to explain what I'd just seen? My mind raced through all different kinds of thoughts before there was a knock
It's a
on my
demon.
door.
It's always a demon.
Sweetie, are you hungry? I stayed silent. Her voice got deeper.
I know you're in there.
I held in my breath before she stepped away. Her footsteps got more and more distant. I stepped out of the room, looking side to side.
Girl, just disappear.
I needed to leave, now. I'd hire a new caretaker, but I couldn't take another minute here. All the lights were off in the house,
Hired a new
so I used my phone
caretaker. Don't be
flashlight
petting nobody in
to
that
guide the
damn
way.
position. Deal with your
As I walked
crazy ass
downstairs,
getting stupid
the
mom,
smell of
not mom.
cookies filled my lungs. I
But
peeked my
cookies are
head into
burning
the
one.
dining room to see my mother sitting there with a plate of cookies. On the table was a small box, wrapped up like a birthday gift.
It's not your birthday.
I
You
wanted
know
to
it
walk
ain't.
away. I needed to get out of here, but I took a seat at the table, getting a good look at the unfamiliar mother in front of me for the last time. With a smile that used to light up a whole room, she slid the wrapped up box to me. I opened it. Inside, there was a tiny gray zipper. It was identical to the one that was sewn into her back. I looked back up at my mother, but she wasn't there anymore.
Oh. Ooh.
Thank you for watching. I recorded this when I was recovering from being sick, so I kind of sound like I smoke 10 packs a day. I'm not sure if it makes the ambience better or worse. Anyways, I meant to post this on Mother's Day, but a lot of things happened, and here we are.
So it was meant
goodbye
to
for
be a
now.
Mother's Day
But
video.
not forever.
Oh, I like it here too. I love a good, you know, girls day. I hope you guys enjoyed the videos. What did you get your mom today? Drop it in the comments. I love you guys so much. Thank you for joining me. And until next time.